Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Any new subscribers, I'm delighted to have your subscription. Thank you so much. Stick around with your girl. I hope you bring a friend with you next time. I just recently been on this topic of perspective and having a different perspective, at least being open to a different perspective. And when I'm uploading this, I think here in America, because I have to always remember YouTube can reach anywhere in the world. Worldwide web. That here in America, we are right around day 24 of our government shutdown. Now, we haven't had this will be breaking history. We've never had a government shutdown this long. And no one wants to be in a position by which they're being laid off or they're not working for a reason beyond their own choice or their own transition in life. I'll put it that way. But we're going towards day 24, I think, by the time I upload this. And on this topic of perspective, a friend of mine, and she's going to be watching this, she will remain unnamed, but we had a conversation by which perspective really came into play. And it became quite a talk, I'll put it that way, but it was a respectful talk. And we know each other well enough. We're coworkers, actually. We are more, yeah, we're coworkers. And we were talking about the government shutdown and how long it's going into, how many days. And she was sharing that a friend of hers or a relative of hers also was experiencing it and how awful it's been, and nothing's ever been so awful. And I said, yeah, well, keep in mind, unemployment rate for Black people have always been prolonged. And this reminds me of that. And her response was, but yeah, you guys are used to it. I said, what? I said, what did you say, girl? What did you say? She said, you're used to it. And that, of course, well, if you know me, that opened a great opportunity to have a conversation and to uh, adjust the lens a little bit. I'll put it that way. And we were able to do that. Here we go again, that it's okay for us to suffer, but no one else. It's okay for us to get the brunt end of something, but you can't seem to relate it for anyone else. It reminds me when Black men are imprisoned for a great long amount of time for the same crime of someone else, but their sentence is, double, triple the time. It reminds me of when a young Black man or a young Black woman or any Black person is killed. The perspective is what more they could have done to prevent that. The perspective is wrong. The perspective supports that almost that we had it coming. Well, this nonsense. I mean, it's just, how do you get to that? Now, this is a grand opening for me because just recently, and I strongly suggest you read it if you haven't, the book White Fragility by Robin, I think it's Robin. Oh my goodness, I didn't know I was going to refer that. Let me get it right. Robin DiAngelo? Let me get it. Hold on, let me search it. Because as an author, you want to get that information out there if someone's going to suggest it. So, I know her name's Robin Fragility by Robin who? Robin Diangelo, by Robin Diangelo. Actually, I'll drop it in the description box, the audiobook. It speaks, oh my God, it's excellent. It's an excellent book. The mindset of it can't be me. The mindset, it's okay for other people, but not me. The mindset of the conscious, unconscious delirium to even say a thing that we're used to it. Well, I can't comprehend that. But it's common for people to just make that assumption, the first three letters of the word assumption, that it's this way. And this is why, too, I'm I'm strongly being a proponent for even Black people to irk the brakes and correct the lens right then and there, just like I did with my friend and my coworker. She ended up being so grateful. She came back to me a couple of times saying, I never realized, I didn't realize how I was thinking like that. I wasn't trying to take her to, I wasn't trying to take her to church, and I wasn't trying to take her to therapy. It just happened to come out that way. And I'm glad that it did, because I'm like, that's how you thought about that? That's not how that is. It's used to it. No one should be used to suffering. No one should be used to abuse. No one should be used to a history by which a carefulized life is required. No one should be used to that. That is nonsense to me at this point. So, when we revolutionize statements like Black Power, it doesn't mean that we are in opposition to white existence. So this communication of the consciousness is also at bay and in the harbor of an understanding of not us, other people. And the conveyance from us is not understood unless it's stated in such a way that it's careful not to make you feel uncomfortable. Well, this is nonsense. Hard topics, hard situations, tough talks require care, but they require deeper truth than they do care. Let's say, for example, you and your mate, your husband, your wife, your spouse, but you're on the verge and are on the edge that it can just break any minute. You're going to have a talk. You're careful in the delivery of what you say because you want it to be considered to strengthen an already fragile existence. So you don't want to come bombarding at the person. This is not the time to use warrior motives when you're in that. You have to be gentle and loving and understanding and kind. Because what you ultimately want from that, even if there isn't reconciliation, is you want an understanding, a correct, accurate understanding. So even if we can't change racism overnight, and God knows I wish we could, like that, our bigotry, our lack of empathy, at least we can inch into an understanding that it has to come from the other side. It can't come from our side. It can't come up from above. It can't come up from over here no more. Because the effort has been here and it's not been effective yet. So switch the lens and take a look on the other side and see what you see differently. Sit on that side and look back so that you can understand, so we can understand differently. And that would help harbor a different conversation by which the needle can move forward in forward progress. And everyone knows those are my words, forward progress. Whatever we can do, make formidable forward progress by which relationships exist and color and colorism doesn't. So eracism, okay? And I love you. If you've got, I love you. These kind of topics can sometimes come across heavy, but they are very, very much needed. The white fragility and white superiority and bias and bigotry that keeps it all in cage is what needs to be addressed more than anything else, because it is what's preventing progress. Nothing else but that. And I love you. If you've gotten this far, please click like, please click subscribe, bring a friend with you next time, and I'll see you later. Have a good day. Bye.